Hey everyone, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, and welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. Thank you so much for popping in. It's great to be with you tonight on September 17th, a Saturday. We have a great show for you. So if you're new, you know we start on Saturday with a brand new master topic and we end on the Friday with the end of that topic. So definitely check that all out. And thank you for coming. We have a great show tonight. And for those of you who are coming back, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and wonderful associates. Thank you so much for being here. Really good to be with you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you coming back and soaking up all this great knowledge. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Really do appreciate you. And now on to our master topic, hoping that all of the new people will soon become loyal, like many of the others that have been here for a long time. So, our master topic is how to make a habit. How to make it a habit, series episode one. That's pretty much the scoop there. And we have a lot to share with you. But let's get into two important quotes. The first quote that I want to share is by Mark Twain. A habit cannot be tossed out the window. It must be coaxed down the stairs a step at a time. All right. Number two. And once you understand that habits can change, you have the freedom and the responsibility to remake them. Charles Duhigg. So when we think about a habit, now you might be thinking about a habit as something bad. There are bad habits, there are good habits. I'm talking about good habits now. Habits that you need to do to have a healthier, more productive, and successful life. So, what's one thing you can do to have a healthier, or let's just say a life that's better? What's one habit you can have? So, a health habit is great. Maybe a habit of drinking water, fresh RO water or other water several times a day. So, that's really important. That could be a habit. Now, when you first do it, it's like, oh, this doesn't make sense. It's not working for me. But the truth of the matter is, it will make sense. It just doesn't happen um, all the time. So think about that for a moment. Think about what it means. What that mean to you? So think about what it means to have a habit. So a habit is something good. So the question you might be asking me, John, is how long does it take to create a habit? Good question. Takes a little more than 2 months, so that's roughly around 60 days before a habit becomes autonomic or automatic. 66 days to be exact, and how long it takes a new habit to form can widely depend on your behavior, your current circumstances. Some people, it could take anywhere from 18 days to 254 days for people to form a new habit. So it really does depend. And this is backed by science, right? In other words, if you want to get your expectations appropriately, the truth is that you'll probably have to take anywhere between 2 months to 8 months to build the new behavior in your life, not 21 days. Okay. Now, in order to build a habit, let's say you want to instill a new healthy habit, which is to eat better. So, we talk about something called short term gratification and long term gratification. Okay. I know I went from 250 pounds down to 178, and I'm on my way down to 165, which is my final goal. Understanding what you want to be, and then once you're there and you're at that, it's already in forced effect. So, like if I have a cookie or if I have something, I log it. And if I don't log it, I feel guilty and I have to immediately do it because I know that I'm only cheating myself. And I don't want to do that. I want to have a great life and I want to build habits that are just going to protect and watch me all the time. good programs, good habits, right? A lot of us have bad habits that are installed in ourselves, and they prevent us from our success. But good habits can help us. Maybe one good habit you might have would be to stay up and to enjoy life based on, I don't know, let's say, based on the fact that maybe you read before you go to sleep at night, or maybe you meditate before you go to sleep at night, and you can keep doing that. I also built another habit, which was to do planks every morning, 3 minutes of planks every morning. And so that's stuck with me too. And it feels really good to do that. And by the way, that's building up my core. So that was something that motivated me to want to stay healthier because I knew that if I was building the core, I knew that everything else on the other side of the core would be great, healthy, and looking really well. And I was right. But it didn't happen overnight. So when did I start this? Good question. So I started this January. All right. Now I was doing it for a while. It took about a month or two to kick in, but it really took several months until I started seeing the results, which was probably around it was probably around April, but then I really saw major results around July. And so when you have the premonition that you're not expecting the results tomorrow, the results sort of come. And it's not like, you put the tea kettle on and it's like, which nobody does anymore with instant hot. Why is it boiling? Well, it's not boiling because you're watching it. So if you don't expect it to happen, like right at the second, of course you want it to happen, but you don't like if you check. Let me check on. Oh, did it boil yet? Did it boil yet? Did it boil yet? Did it boil yet? That's so annoying. And so when you instill a habit like I did, which was to get off of breads and log all my food and do my lumen thing, which you guys have seen me do many times before, which is taking a breath before every meal and a breath after every meal. And that's able to actually give me my level. So let me just give you a little bit of a treat of how that works. So I'm going to log into my phone right now, turn on my Lumen device, and I'm going to go into my Lumen app. You're going to hear me making some breathing noises. So I will be quiet for a minute, but you're going to see what I do here. And no, I'm not vaping for the smart Alex. I think I'm vaping. I'm not vaping. I don't smoke. Don't go anywhere near that crap. So going to put down here after eating dinner. All right. So I turn my Lumen on. It's got the color. Going to say, let's go. Going to inhale. And you're going to see this on the screen over here. Oh, you can see it.
Hold your breath. Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
Couldn't talk to you while I was doing that. So I basically have to inhale for a count of 10, getting the green line to the edge of the circle. And then I go from there. Now, right now, today, I did have some sweets at a party, at a picnic, and then I had a very light dinner. But I'm still sitting at a 4. So a 4 is not a great level, but it's okay. I know what I did today, and I expect my carb level to be high because of the things I ate. And just before I had a cup of tea and I had like 2 cookies, small cookies. So it's just important to understand it. So tomorrow that'll probably drop down to probably a 2 or probably a 1 because I'll be back in fat burn. So it's just important to understand how your body works and how everything's logged. So just to give you a quick example, and I know you guys can't actually see it, but if I go to me and I go to my Lumen, I can see that currently for the current week, okay. Actually, I was on Saturday, okay, and so Saturday I'm currently at a 3. Not the greatest, okay. My other days were like a 2. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll probably be at a 2 or 1. And so, what affects us is a couple things. One, getting enough sleep, eating the right nutrition, and not eating a lot of carbs. So, how does this Lumen device work? It's real simple. When you take a breath and you exhale, that breath uh, basically gets measured for the CO2. If CO2 is high, then Lumen knows that I am burning carbs. If it's low, I'm burning fat. Now, people would say to me, hey, John, I always have to burn fat. Wrong. You want to fluctuate between burning fat and burning carbs. When you do this, you're actually exercising your metabolism and your digestive system. It's a great thing. So you don't always want to burn fat. Okay. You don't always want to burn carbs. You want to go back, forth, back, forth. A real good thing to do is to stay at burning fat when you wake up in the morning. Then you have some breakfast. Then you'll probably be up and then you'll probably be down by the time lunchtime happens and you'll be burning your fat. You'll be burning fat. Lunch, 2 hours later, you'll be back to burning fat again. And then at night, so you want to go up, down, up, down. And this is really good because it's a habit. Now, when I don't do something, like if I have something and I don't log, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. So even if I miss once, I easily get back on the horse. The reason is I love the way I look, I love the way I feel, and I want to keep that. And so to me, this habit is something not that I have to do, but something I want to do because I enjoy the way I look, I enjoy the way I feel, I enjoy the energy I have. But it's not a magic bullet, right? It's not like I snap my fingers and it just happens. However, the practice of me staying healthy is easier because the attitude and the practice is automatic or automatic. Just like when I eat something, I log, I know, I eat, I log, and it's like I know where it is and I know where I should be. So I know tomorrow when I wake up, I should be around a 1 or a 2. I also know tomorrow I'm going to have a very light breakfast, probably just a banana and some juice. Why? Because I'm going to a picnic. I also know I'm not going to have dinner. So that's kind of it. And I'm also knowing that I'm not going to have bread at that picnic, right? So these are little things that you can do to understand. So what are some other habits? We're going to talk about habits all week. Another habit that's important to understand is the habit of respect. So by being respectful, that's like, for example, if you are, let's say, doing something and someone else is doing something else. And now you interrupt that person while you're doing something, while you're being disrespectful. If you build a habit of being respectful, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can't interrupt that person because they're in the middle of something, they're doing something. So that would be rude, right? And so it's not that you want to be rude, but if you understand that interrupting or disturbing someone while they're doing something, that you're doing that. But if your habit builds like, oh, wait a minute, I can't do this because I'm going to bother this person. But, it's not going to happen right away. So you got to build this into a plan where you're like, okay, if I do this, I've got to check. I got to see, am I making noise? Am I in the way of somebody? You have to ask these questions. And then when they start to cycle in your head, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I can't do that. And the reason you don't want to do that is because you're trying to be a person that's respectful to other people, their time, etc. And so you might even find this with clients. Maybe you go to a client and maybe you get a response from either them or from a manager. The manager says, you know what, we really appreciate what you do for us. However, I find, or my staff finds, that you're spending a lot of time with them and they have work to do and they don't want to be rude, but they want to explain to you that they really need to focus on what they're doing. They don't have time to talk to you. So building a habit is something you can do, like I said, in health ways. You can do it in being courtesy. You can build it if you're going to do speeches. Like, do you have a habit that you're going to put together something? In the morning, do you have a certain habit? My habit is I get up in the morning. Typically, I make my bed, and then I move on from there, right? Next step after that is either I have breakfast or I take a shower, get dressed, etc., get ready for what I'm going to do for the day. So this habit is just something that naturally happens. If something gets in the way of that habit, it's like, well, wait a minute, why did that get in the way? Is it somebody else that's preventing me? Is it something they're doing? Are they altering me or altering my environment? If that is, you have to address it. You have to say, hey, in a nice way, I know you're doing X, I know you're doing Y, I know you're doing Z, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be nasty, but you're getting in the way of me doing what I need to do. So that's disrespectful, right? And you just tell the person. And if they keep doing it, I've told you what to do. You say bye-bye, right? You see, being respectful is not something you have to do. It's something you should want to do. So if other people don't respect you, right? You probably say, why should I respect them? You can still respect them, but then you could be respectful and then move on from them. See, that's the thing. So having a habit of respect is really, really top of the pyramid. Having a habit of health is important too. Tomorrow, we'll go more into how to build a habit. Okay. We're going to talk about some small habits that you can start to build right now very easily. Be like, John, it's so hard. Like, maybe a habit of swimming every day. I don't want to go into the pool every day and swim 10 miles. Well, we'll teach you how you can acclimate yourself so that you can get to that. You see, a lot of people start with this big goal. There's nothing wrong with it, but they don't first achieve the first goal. Now, I knew that if I could achieve, when I changed it from if down the road to when I achieved my weight, I knew that when I was losing weight, that I could do anything. So that's a mindset, that's a mental state. And when that state is in your mind, no one or nothing can get in your way. And if you let somebody get in your way, well, then you're not dedicated enough. You're not motivated enough, right? You have to realize that your passions, your desires, your goals are for you. And if you're going to let somebody else, let's say, get in the way of that, well, then you're not really in a habit right now. A habit is when you do something and you keep doing it without thinking. Many of us get into a car every morning, right? And you get in the car. The first thing you do, what's the first thing you do? You get in the car. You get in the car and you reach over to the right, put the seatbelt to the right, click in, and you're good to go. Start your car. That's the first thing that everybody does. But a lot of people, when they drive, like, oh, I don't want to go through putting my seatbelt on. It's a pain in the neck. Okay, so yes, it might be a pain in the neck, but once you get in the habit of doing it, it just happens. And you don't care that you're doing it, but you know why you're doing it for safety, and that's a real valid reason. But sometimes when we get these goals and there seems like there's so much to do, it's like, ugh, how am I ever going to get this done? Right? It's like, how am I going to do this? Help me, help me, help me. And you get frustrated, and the frustrations push you backward because you don't think you can get up the hill, right? How many of you ever try to climb a hill and maybe you don't have enough power to go up that hill, right? So you get discouraged. You don't stop on the middle of the hill and wait. A lot of people just give up and they don't try again. So we have to make sure that the first level of your goal is attainable in a reasonable amount of time. Once that condition is met, now you're going to stay motivated to propel yourself the rest of the way through. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you again this evening to share some great wisdom and knowledge with you, starting with our master topic of how, yes, you know the question, you know the answer, how to make it a habit, series episode 1. Be sure to like, love, and support my channel, clicking the like, love buttons, respectively, etc. Engage, definitely comment about what does it mean to you to build a habit? What does a habit mean to you? What are some of your habits? What are your good habits? What are your bad habits? Do you want to break any of them? We're going to talk about how to build them. Later on, we'll talk about how to break them in another episode. That'll probably be next week because this whole week's on how to build them. And so that's important. Definitely tag your friends, your colleagues, and your associates from everyone you know here on social media. Share it across all the platforms. And then go to my YouTube channel, John Spacey, space Morley, space serial entrepreneur, and look for that key phrase to help keep our content free. And make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, tonight or today, whenever you're watching it, to buy my team and I a savory slice of watermelon, a fresh vanilla cone, or an icy cold beverage. Either way, we'll be grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content to empower you to change your life if you really want to. Hey, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks so much for watching tonight or this morning. I'll see you guys tomorrow with episode 2 of How to Make It a Habit. Take care, everyone.